Going live. You're live. Hello everyone. I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be playing Ninja Gaiden 4 on the RTX 3060, 4060, 5070, and the GTX 1650. How are you guys doing? Welcome. First of all, thanks to Xbox for providing a code for Gamepass PC so I can access the game. This is included on Gamepass PC. And I have my thoughts about the price hike. I'm going to talk about those later. But here I am testing Ninja Gaiden 4. How are you guys doing? Welcome. Before saying anything about the game, I wanted to talk about something important. I want to dedicate this live stream to the creator of Ninja Gaiden, Tomonobu Itagaki. He passed away last week. So yeah, I wanted to dedicate it to him for making fantastic games. I love Ninja Gaiden 2. I still have my 360 copy. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do at the beginning. Huge respect. He made awesome games. And he also created Dead or Alive. And he was like, when the testers told me that Ninja Gaiden was hard, I made it even harder. So it became a legendary franchise. He didn't care about what the rest of the people thought. So yeah. And thank you, Electric Pichu, for the 24 months, 2 years, being an awesome supporter. Thank you so much, sir. I always see you on the live streams, so I'm happy you could catch up here. So yeah, rest in peace. He was 58 years old, so pretty young. That's a shame. But his legacy lives on. Now we got Ninja Gaiden 4, and it's been like 12 years since we got a new Ninja Gaiden game. Let's check the requirements super quick. And since Borderlands 4 came out, every time we don't use Unreal Engine for a game, we're actually saying they coded their own engine. And in this case, they're using their Platinum Games proprietary engine. So the minimum requirements are at 1060, so 6 gigs of VRAM, 100 gigabytes of space. I'm not sure about this. It was a 50 gigabyte download. SSD required. And this is for 1080p 30 FPS on low. I'm guessing this is FSR performance, maybe. So 540p on a 1060. So at least they're honest. With a lot of upscaling, you can get this. And for the recommended spec, a 2060, which is usually, this is now the minimum in UE5 stuff. But the fact that this is on the requirements, respect for being honest, at least. So yeah. Game runs great on Steam Deck. Yeah, it's also Steam Deck verified. I'm going to check it out on Steam Deck later, at a later time, but we're going to do it. And surprise, I got a 5070. Why, you might be asking? Well, 3060, 4060, 5060. I mean, it was a great lineup, I would say, but when I was testing the 5060 and the 4060, the 5060 was like 10% at the base case, and it has the same amount of VRAM. The only improvement was that you got frame gen 3 times and 4 times. So to show you a slight difference, well, a big jump from the 4060, the next price point, I wanted to put a 5070 there, so we can actually see if games are well optimized or not. We have more scalability visuals. So yeah, if you have a 5060, basically look at the 4060 and be like, okay, it's going to run fine. Because they were basically carbon copies. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's get into it. I have it on Game Pass, but you can also buy it on Steam. Hopefully we don't have any missing DLSS on the Game Pass version. That's a classic. The biggest letdown of this game is that it runs 720p on 4 GB of VRAM GPU and settings are locked. Ooh, that sucks. Probably somebody's going to figure it out, I'm pretty sure. And what is this thing? There we go. And the game seems to have actual full screen. By the way, I'm going to be using a controller. So let's see. Okay, voice language, you got Japanese and English. I'm going to keep it on English because that's how I played the previous games. You have a lot of accessibility options, auto movement, auto interactions, all that stuff. Personally, not interested. Vibration, no, so you guys don't hear it in the microphone. This doesn't matter. You can also change the FOV, camera shake, I don't like that. Here, Windows full screen. If you put it on full screen, it's actually full screen. It's not fake full screen like other games. How's it going? Top 10. Why not 5060 Ti 16 gigs? Because the performance difference between that one and the 5070 is pretty huge. And at the same time, the 5070 wasn't that much more expensive. I didn't think it was a good value for the 5060 Ti. And the 5070 now dropped to $499 in the US. Anyway, full screen, 1080p, you can unlock the frame rate, well, up to 240. So I'm going to show you that. Usually, the Ninja Gaiden games were horrible PC ports. And yeah, especially, well, Nier Automata is a famous one. But here you can put the frame rate above 240, above 120. So that's good to see. On the consoles, you can select 120. Here, FSR, it says, I don't know why the game flickers each time I change a setting. But I'm pretty sure... that, yeah, I mean, this is probably quality, balanced, and performance. So I'm going to disable it right away. Let's just use DLAA at the beginning. Hiro, ¿qué tal? What do you think about the ROG Xbox? It's basically a refresh of the Ally, of the ROG Ally. So I'm not super impressed with it. What impresses me in a bad way is the price. Pretty expensive. Okay, DLAA 1080p, and let's do the highest settings. There is dynamic resolution, motion blur. In a game like this, maybe motion blur looks good, but we'll check it out later. So this is basically the settings right now. Normal, yes. And I don't know why I don't have audio. Probably the full screen garbage that I always get. Don't worry, I'll fix it. I need to reinstall Windows on this machine. So this is 1080p high plus DLAA. Oh, okay, it starts right away. LMAO. That's good. GG, the game just starts. That's so awesome. I love when games do that. Yeah, now we have a 5070 to actually see a difference. Because the 5060 ran the same as the 4060, basically. It wasn't worth doing those. So 1080, high settings with DLAA. And I'm using motion blur, but let's see if it's good or not. Okay. Okay, feeling smooth. Ooh. That's cute. Hopefully they didn't skimp on the violence. Okay, shurikens with B. Okay. Controls are pretty familiar. Blocking and dodging. Press RT to block enemy attacks. While holding... Okay, yep. Controls like Ninja Gaiden 2 in that regard. Awesome. Ninja Gaiden 2, I think, used the bumpers instead of the triggers for this. Is it Steam Deck? No, this is PC, but I'll do a Steam Deck. On Steam Deck, actually, it's verified. And this is not UE5. This is Platinum Games' own proprietary engine, which makes me happy to see. So, yeah. Again, this is the beginning of the game, so who knows later how's it going to be. Knockback recovery. Press RT or A quickly, regain your balance. Okay. Ooh. Okay, simple enough. I thought they were going to change the controls, but this feels pretty good. Pretty similar to the previous one. Well, the previous one. Ninja Gaiden 2 that I played with the remaster. That's cool. Okay. I wish I was Hayabusa though. So no stutters. So far the frame time graph is solid. Let me make it a bit bigger. It's freaking solid. But we'll see as it advances. Dismemberment and obliteration. You have a chance to dismember an enemy whenever you attack one. Dismember enemy will be weakened. Yeah. Press Y against the dismember enemy to trigger an obliteration. Okay. Like Ninja Gaiden 2 there.
Made enemy contact. It's under control.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah. Man, I love that. That's so cool. Well, Hayabusa and Ayame are there. Let's see who else. Yeah, but I heard something from the people that reviewed the game that Hayabusa is like 30 to 20% of the game, which is a shame, but I'm happy that it's bloody AF. GG. It's looking pretty good so far. I'm just super happy that it's not UE5, like Ninja Gaiden 2. Personal T will cause Yakumo and his weapons transform through the art of bloodline ninjutsu. Okay. Gotcha. Ooh. Okay, I'm completely overpowered here. Yeah, but I love that they put a lot of blood in this. Took them long enough. Was just going to ask if this was UE5. No, no, it's not. I'm so happy it's not UE5. Holy hell. I thought it was going to be because the remaster of Ninja Gaiden 2 was. Bloodblind gauge is filled throughout the following lapse of time. Hit an enemy with a base form attack. Gotcha. But again, we're going to get outside first and see what happens. VRAM usage is at 8 gigabytes at 1080p with DLAA. So VRAM usage is already pretty substantial, despite being in a normal environment, to say it in some way. Normal, I mean indoors. Probably effects will need to be lowered somewhere. Notifications are behind your GPU logo so we can see them. Oops! Sorry about that, guys. I think I should reposition the GPU stuff. I don't know where, though. I'll have to think about that later. I was just going to ask... Oh, no, this is not UE5. This is their own engine! Platinum Games engine, which... I mean, sometimes it can be a double-edged sword. Because if you remember Nier Automata on PC, man. Also, by the way, can you guys hear me fine and the game as well? Top mid? Top mid. Oh, you mean... Hold on. I think I understand what you mean. Like this? I should do it. You can also take UE5 and make it your own engine. Well, yeah, that's true. But that's pretty rare nowadays, I think. But so far the frame time has been freaking solid. Oh yeah, I can block like this. I got you. Let's see what happens. Oops. Yeah, I probably cannot block that. Come on. There it goes. There we go. Rest in pepperonis. How in the hell does this look better than Ninja Gaiden Black 2 Remaster and runs better? I mean, we're in a closed environment right now. So we'll see once we get to a bigger location. Even Steam they can handle this game? Yeah. It's verified. And since it's not UE5, I cannot control my character, by the way. I'm waiting. I mean, being verified plus not being UE5 on Steam Deck, it's a good look to me. Oh, cool. Here we are. Sound is good? Gotcha. I've been playing with it. Koei Tecmo Games presents Team Ninja. Do you think Unreal Engine 5 deserves the hate it gets? I don't think it 100% deserves it. I wish actually the developers should get more criticism. Because UE5 can be well implemented. There's a lot of shortcuts. But I think the big problem, the biggest problem, better said, is how the developers use it. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but how the developers implement it is one of the bigger things. It's like saying, I don't know, the tool's hammer is bad, but the person using the hammer is the bottleneck. I think that's the biggest thing. But I can also blame UE5 because they could make it easier not to make those mistakes when developing. Do all verified games run well? Not always. Some games run on ultra performance upscaling on Steam Deck, which is a stupidly low resolution. So yeah, sometimes you have verified games that are PS Beta quality stuff, but sometimes you'd be surprised.
Long ago, the Dark Dragon.
You got at 3058 gigs, you still get little spikes in Far Cry 4. Yeah, Far Cry 4 does that. Okay, here we seem to be running worse. Yeah, probably there's probably stuff that we can tweak to get it to run better. One of the things that Epic should be criticized is traversal stutter. Yeah, I think the traversal stutter thing, that's 100% on Epic. I mean, it's been an issue since Unreal Engine 3. Unreal Engine 4 was famous for this. UE3, it was less obvious, but as they built over new features, it got way worse. So when it comes to the traversal stutter, yeah, I agree. That's on Epic's side, I'm pretty sure. Okay, here it drops pretty hard. Let me see if we can improve on that. Let's see, shadows first. Let's try shadows first. Too bad it's not real time. Okay, there we got an improvement. 63 versus... a couple frames, not a huge difference. This game is not UE5. Yeah, I'm just using UE5 as an example. Is there one for... Okay, volumetric fog. Let's lower a few of them together. Wind effects. Swaying hair and other objects in the wind. Weird that they put this here. How demanding could it be? Okay, reflections. There is disable, low, or high. Let's put everything on medium and see how it goes. But we still have upscaling. This is native resolution, so already a good look. Performance seems to be basically the same. What about the lowest settings? To be fair, Sonic Racing looks pretty simple. No wonder it runs good. Well, sometimes it can screw it up. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, let's disable everything and see if it does anything to the frame rate.
No prophecy will change.
Okay, yeah, we got a big improvement, but there is no ambient occlusion and no reflections. So medium and high seem to be running the same. Okay, definitely the reflections seem to be the biggest impact. Ambient occlusion is a big impact as well. So yeah, you either disable it, but I think what you can lower to improve it the most seems to be volumetric fog. If you put it on low, you get a couple extra frames, but lowering the others... Yeah, you need to turn them off in order to get an improvement. Or ambient occlusion and reflections. So you either turn them off, or you put them on high, I think. 63 versus 67. 67 versus 71. Yeah, it's a huge improvement, but you have to disable them, which is a big difference. But when it comes to low versus high, on these two options, I'm not seeing anything. Shadows... Okay, on shadows it helps a lot. On low. Yeah, but it's barely an improvement in performance. What about textures? I'll have to reload them, but... No, textures is the same as well. So yeah, volumetric fog, I would say, is the thing that I'll lower to medium. At least in this location. Yeah, but it's barely... Sorry, to low, not to medium. And the wind effect... Yeah, if we're not on runtime... Yep, upscaling would be. DLAA is a big improvement to DLSS quality on 1080p. It depends on the game, really. Okay. So, motion blur on this one looked pretty good. I would use it personally. This is one of the few exceptions. It seems to be well implemented. It didn't distract me. It's probably due to the high frame rate. So, yep. On this card, personally, I'll lower the volumetric fog to low to get a couple frames there and shadows to medium, but it's a small improvement. If you're using upscaling, just max it out.
Plan thrives.
As they say, leave it to the ravens to peck out the trash.
Yep.
Now, both clans.
I want to be a ninja. Yeah, sometimes you get restart the games to get changes, but here it seems to be running in real time. So yeah, let's do that. Let's put the fog on medium and let's use upscaling. Let's see if it looks good. DLSS, it says only enable and disabled. So I don't know what it entails. Yeah, it doesn't say what it's doing.
Play a vital role in keeping the world
Yeah, it doesn't say how much is upscaling it.
Keep along this path and head towards the confinement area.
So I don't know which resolution we're talking about over here. The game also has per object motion blur. That's probably why then. Because I'm moving the camera and it's not a blur fest. Okay, but I'm weirded out by this one. DLSS on or off. It doesn't say how much of it. Object quality. Oh, okay. I missed this option. Okay, this is probably a big one. Okay. I'll have to go back to the menu. Display quality of effects, decals, objects, etc. Alright, I gotcha. So for now, let's keep it on high with DLSS on. It's probably quality upscaling, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the character still looks pretty sharp. I'm using the right trigger to dodge, so it feels very Ninja Gaiden 2 in that regard. And if you hold the trigger and move around, you dodge. So in that way, it feels like the previous games. And well, you got stuff like this. Hop, 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 hop. Yeah. Yeah, the graphics menu is pretty lacking so far. I agree. On this part, you can notice that it's pretty flat. And I love the yellow paint thing. It's actually cables now.
Watchdogs on duty.
Yeah, and it uses quite a lot of VRAM. On the high texture quality, it's using 8 gigabytes.
Made it into the cave.
Made it into the cave.
There's a gate up ahead. Once you get past it, you'll arrive at the containment
Yeah, it's
zone.
probably quality upscaling.
Comms will be cut off beyond the
Because this is 1080p and it doesn't look bad with DLSS on.
Caution, Yakumo.
But many parts actually look pretty flat when it comes to lighting. Again, this is their own proprietary engine, but some stuff does look pretty flat when it comes to lighting. Ugh. But hey, at this point, seeing a game run well on day one is quite an achievement, I would say. It should be the minimum, right? But I'm just happy it's their own proprietary technology. Even if it doesn't look the best of the best, it has to look good enough, in my opinion. But movement and controls feel pretty solid so far. GG. And there's also a 120Hz mode for the consoles. So that already tells you that it's going to run well. Let's make it slide. And reminder, I'm using a 3060 right here. Jedi Survivor, yeah, this is more fast-paced. Way more fast-paced than Jedi Survivor, but yeah. I'm noticing some ghosting here and there, though.
She thinks she is bossing us around. She's a prisoner, damn it, not a princess.
VRAM Gaiden 4. Okay, this is what we saw in the trailer, actually, this section. Yeah, but it's pretty badass so far. But it reminds you of Jedi Survivor because we have a sword and it's a third-person camera, maybe?
Should be it.
And it has a lot of high-tech stuff.
All right, let's get out of here.
Damn! Yeah, let's get out of here.
Change of plans. I'm
Oh, this room reminds me of Control.
Huh? Oh, what?
Oh, it's clearly cube
no
maps
time to talk.
mixed
I'll
with
explain once
screen
we're
space
out.
reflections.
Shutting off
Doesn't look amazing there. But again, it doesn't have to. And there's Gigaphysics. Great work there,
You could say that.
developers.
So, what are they like?
Not your concern.
Can use over 12 gigabytes at 4K max settings. Okay, we'll see if the 5070 can handle that. I would like the devs to focus more on backlighting. Yeah. Yeah, backlighting here will make a huge difference. Especially for some of the stairs that I saw that didn't have great lighting on them. They look pretty flat. Okay. What soaked Tokyo? Okay. So now that I'm here, I think it's a good time to do a visual comparison of DLSS. Let's see if it looks any good now that we have some rain over there. I think it's a good moment to do it. Yeah. Let me make the overlay smaller so you guys can see. Also, frame time spikes, 0. It's been flat, 100% flat on the frame time. So GG on that. Let's record a few seconds of gameplay. Yeah, respect for using their own engine. And having a 120 FPS mode on the consoles. Let's disable DLSS. And you can use TAA or DLAA. Let me see, 56 FPS versus... Okay, TAA would be like we have on consoles, so let's keep it with TAA. Otherwise, there's no anti-aliasing whatsoever. Okay. And I pulled DLAA in the mix as well, just to see what it looks like. It looks pretty aliased, even with TAA. That's pretty interesting. On engine means... No, the on engine means that they're made their engine from the ground up. Is their own proprietary technology. Okay, let's do a visual side by side. Okay, so the one on the left would be... the one on the left is DLAA, the one in the middle is TAA, and the one on the right is DLSS. Let me label them so it's not confusing. So this one would be DLAA. This one DLSS on, which doesn't specify which resolution it is. And the one in the middle is TAA. So we got native, and DLSS on. Let's see. Let's zoom in. And hit play. Okay. What do you guys think? TAA is pretty aliased, actually. It reminds me of SMAA. DLAA looks good enough, but DLSS on still looks pretty good. Let's zoom in a bit further. Let's see stuff into the distance. Yeah, I mean, interesting how DLSS actually here resolves better than native resolution TAA. Although we lose some details on the water here. Yeah, same happens on DLAA. But this wire is very distracting. Let's see. That's me, hi. Yeah, TAA in this game is very unstable. I mean, look at the light in the background. I'm zooming in a lot so you guys can see it. But this is on 1080p. Personally, looking at this right now, I would say DLSS on is the way to go. Yeah. The rain gets a bit lost with the upscaler though, with DLAA and DLSS. The rain, but I think it's worth it considering how aliased TAA looks. And the performance improvement using DLSS is unmatched. And that's me, hi. Yep. Yep, they did a good job there. GG. They did a good job with DLSS on. So personally, if you have the GPU power to spare, use DLAA, looks good. DLSS though, is probably quality. The game doesn't say it's enabled or disabled, but it looks pretty damn good. So GG on that. And in this case, motion blur actually looks pretty good. It's not distracting. It doesn't look like trash. It's not Vaseline over your screen. If you move the camera, there's no blurriness. The blurriness comes from the motion in the objects. So the swords, the blood, objects moving, the pair object motion blur. So the only things that are blurred are probably the character when moving like this for dodging. And that's about it. So in this case, motion blur makes sense to me. Probably because it's very fast paced and at a high frame rate, that happens. Is it DLSS 4? I'm not sure, maybe. I mean, it looks pretty damn good. Can I try Force DLSS Transformer? Right now, not possible because I didn't install the NVIDIA app. I'm sorry guys. I can use DLSS Swapper and NVIDIA Inspector, but on this computer I didn't set it up. But next stream I'll have basically this computer, the one that is playing the game, completely wiped. Because it's been like a year since I did a clean Windows install.
Come over here real quick.
But my advice right now is to enable DLSS if you have the option.
Yakumo,
Fine.
listen.
But the VRAM usage is pretty high. 8 gigabytes on 1080p on high. No, with DLSS on it looks fine. And so far it's super damn stable. If you look at that frame time,
You can use this to heal up in a pinch. Go ahead and try it now.
let me increase my health. Okay. This makes sense. But the frame time graph has been freaking flat across the board.
First pylon spotted. Security looks airtight.
I can handle it.
Yeah, even with the blood covering the screen, there we go, a small tiny blip there, but again,
Reinforcements incoming.
reminds me of Doom the Dark Ages when it comes to frame times.
Forces this coordinated, it's no surprise
How much is Gamepass Ultimate in Uruguay?
Tokyo.
It's freaking expensive. Actually, I'm not being honest there. In Uruguay, we do not have Game Pass Ultimate. The only Game Pass available in Uruguay is Game Pass PC. But again, the price increased significantly. That freaking sucks. 50% more expensive. Although the PC Game Pass, I would say, is the best value, quote unquote, because you still get half the price of Game Pass Ultimate and you get all the new games. So yeah, in Uruguay, PC Game Pass, 50% improvement. Expensive AF. And people in Brazil and Argentina got, I think, even a worse increase in price. So yeah, it's not a good time to want to use Game Pass. Honestly, I'm pretty sad about that because it was a great value. Now it stopped being great value. I wouldn't recommend Game Pass right now. Despite Xbox providing Game Pass for this live stream, again, I wouldn't recommend Game Pass at this time. Considering, yeah, the price the price increase. Just think about it. If they increase the price so quickly out of the blue, imagine how many times they could do that in the future without prior notice. It's ridiculous. Why is this game similar to Metal Gear Rising? I mean, Metal Gear Rising is from the same devs. This is Platinum Games. Sorry, Team Ninja. With the Platinum Games engine. No, I'm pretty sure it's Platinum Games. This one. Oh, I don't have to the restoration. Oops. So yeah, that's probably why. You bought 1 month code from externally. Yeah, if you buy it from, I'm talking about legit codes. And by legit, I mean buying it directly from them. It doesn't make sense. It's not that they got greedy. I think they were greedy all along, and they were like, okay, Game Pass is the best value in gaming, blah, blah, blah. A few years later, okay, we increase the price 50% because we have millions of users. So it's called trapping the user in an ecosystem. Okay, 1440p, let's do that. Let's see how it goes on native, which again, I wouldn't recommend it at this time because it looks pretty similar. And at 1440p, I think it would be smart to lower a few settings apart from the upscaling. Yeah, at native 1440p is 30 FPS. Ooh, but it looks sharp AF. Wow. Yeah, but it drops pretty hard. And again, we're talking about a 3060. It's an old GPU at this point. Yeah, when effects show up, it drops pretty hard.
Reinforcements incoming.
Let's go back to the main menu and see if we can change the effect quality. PC Game Pass is just $6. Awesome. More than 100% in India. Yeah, in Argentina and Brazil, it also increased significantly in price. But I think the worst end of the bad end of the stick was people that have consoles, because on PC you still get all the games right away. Okay, so the object quality, it only allows us to change it in the main menu. It says adjust the display quality for effects, decals, objects, etc. Let's try medium on this one, and I'm going to lower a couple of things. Volumetric fog to low. Shadows, they didn't make much of a difference, at least so far. Reflections, again, not much of a difference unless you turn it off. Same with ambient occlusion. So let's try the object quality on medium, and let's see if it's still 30 FPS. It probably will be, but we have DLSS to try as well. So let me do a quick restart just to make sure to do a sanity check. Hey Benjamin, how's it going? It's more similar to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, yeah, basically. But it feels way faster paced and harder. 100 is FPS on 5-year-old 60 class card is not bad, definitely. Don't let your 3060 Ti hear that. Don't worry, it's our secret. Yeah, but the 8 GB of VRAM GPUs, it freaking sucks for them. Thanks, NVIDIA. It's using 9 gigs already in the main menu at 1440p. But we have 3 texture quality options. Okay, yeah, the object quality, maybe a few frames, but it's probably going to make a difference when we're doing heavy attacks on the enemy. Those have a lot of effects on screen. So let's enable DLSS on this one for 1440p. Again, we don't know the exact resolution, but on 1080p it did look pretty similar to DLAA. So DLSS on is the only thing that we got. There's also dynamic resolution that I'm going to check at the end. So yeah, these are the settings that I'm using. 1440p, DLSS on. Now let's see if it says what we want it to.
Security looks airtight.
I can handle.
Yeah, I mean, guys, the 30 series at this point is pretty old, and that's fine. I mean, GPUs now live longer than in the past. In the past, after 3 years, your GPU was like, okay, you're not running the newest games. But again, I'm talking about the past. I mean, it's a miracle that a 1650 can run games even today. In the past, it was significantly worse than now when it comes to how long your GPU could be used. Ray tracing? No, I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. And if it does, it's doing a pretty bad job at doing ray tracing. Oh yeah, shurikens, and I can block and dodge, obviously. Okay, I cannot block that. But it feels pretty damn good, the gameplay. Pretty smooth. And the frame time, top notch. Top notch frame time. Imagine having a good frame time in 2025. Yeah, there, when the effect shows up close to the camera, it's when it drops. Uh, 40 series has so much more longevity and gets added features. Yep. I mean, because of frame gen, but you can use lossless scaling. Not as great quality, but frame gen is still frame gen, let's be honest here. It's not a silver bullet to fix performance. Actually, what I like better about the 40 series is a bit more power efficiency, and at the same time you get better ray tracing performance for newer games. That helps. Ooh. Oh, I didn't buy any heals, I'm an idiot. Can you freaking die, please? Thank you. Move! I was dodging, what the hell? Yep. Yeah. At 1440p though, it drops a bit more than I would like. But it tends to drop when I have a lot of blood on the screen, which I'm usually not in control in the game at that point. Yeah, it's mostly when that happens. But the frame time, again, freaking solid.
Reinforcements incoming.
I just wish we could control DLSS, the DLSS resolution.
Surprised that DDO was able to take control of Tokyo.
That looked good! Yeah, those moments is where it drops the most. I love how Arthur describes ray tracing. Seems pretty legit to me. Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Without the AI, I don't think we're going to ever be able to do RT native. I mean, why does it have to be 100% RT? What happened about hardware limitations making better art? Oh, come on. I hit Y there. Well, at least it feels like a Ninja Gaiden game so far. Let's try 4K now. And I'm probably going to buy some heals. I forgot. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be RT. Let me see if I can go back to the freaking store.
First pylon spotted.
Oh, photo mode? Good.
Security looks airtight.
I can handle it.
Oh, I should have bought heals. Yeah, no, not happening. Anyway, let's do 4K. Because why not? I have to advance on GPUs. So 4K. The GigaChat resolution. And here, since we cannot control DLSS, the resolution of DLSS, I cannot actually do performance upscaling. So here I have to sacrifice basically everything. But I could do dynamic resolution maybe. But man, at 4K it looks so freaking nice. I mean, just look at these guys. I'm zooming in a lot, by the way. That looks good. This is with DLSS also. Which again, it's quality probably. Quality upscaling, I'm pretty sure. Which internally in this case will be 1440p. Let me try very quickly dynamic res. Let's pretend we're targeting 60s. And enable dynamic res. Let's see if it does anything at all. Maybe I need TAA to use dynamic res. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh yeah, the description for 4K. Yeah, sorry guys. Thanks for the heads up, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing this doing anything. Yeah, I'm not seeing the dynamic resolution working so far. Maybe I'm missing something. But since DLSS doesn't allow us to actually do manually a resolution change, we need to do it... Yeah, it just seems to be using quality. Maybe FSR makes more sense. Prioritize resolution. Balance. Okay, this matches. Okay, it could be DLSS balance actually, considering the performance there. And prioritize performance. Okay, in this case we would need to use FSR. Because DLSS doesn't allow us to go lower than balanced. They reply somewhere either on stream. You can change the DLSS. Oh yeah, you can override it with NVIDIA app. The thing is I didn't install the NVIDIA app. Frick dang it. Okay, don't worry. I'll try that later. This is basically low mid. But otherwise, yeah, it looks softer, but not a huge deal. Yeah, the ring gets lost quite a bit on FSR in comparison to DLSS. But again, this is basically the same pixel count. So with DLSS, expect similar results if you override the upscaler in the NVIDIA app. And when it comes to VRAM at 4K, we're using like 10 gigs. I think it would be more expensive if the cards didn't have upscaling, which is why the feature is available. I think it's available as a clutch to not have extra hours optimizing games, because it takes time to optimize stuff. So devs now are using it as a clutch. Which, I mean, I get it, business makes more sense, but it sucks. Will this run good on the 6800? It probably will. I would be surprised if it doesn't. But this feels smooth as butter in comparison to anything UE5 that I played. Again, this is not UE5, but any other new game that I've been playing recently. The frame time is freaking stable. I mean, here we're dropping below 60 obviously, but again, frame times. Consistency is king. FSR2, yuck. That's freaking disgusting. That explains it. That explains why the rain feels like it's missing. Yeah, also when that effect shows up, the one with the glitches, it drops like 5 frames. But this, I mean, solid gameplay so far. It's badass. And the violence as well. GG. FSR4, I wish. Anybody else?
Negative. Pylon's all yours.
It won't open.
They must have updated their security protocols. Hang on a sec. Almost got it.
580? Yeah, I mean, the 580, some games don't run on it. And I had it before and people didn't really care much, honestly.
Thanks.
That's why.
Taking out the pylon now.
But I tried everything. Nothing against AMD. I really like competition, but yeah. I also need people to watch my videos.
System error.
Yeah, OptiScaler is a good idea as well.
30% deficiency.
So.
But definitely FSR doesn't look good.
Become hacking experts? Ninjas aren't all just blades and info magic, you know?
Oof. He got me good there. I mean, when normal enemies kick your ass, you know you're playing a Ninja Gaiden game. Yeah, and here I'm not seeing any shadows, but I'm playing on medium to low. Maybe those shadows come back on high. Excuse me, sir. Do you have heals? I don't own any of these GPUs and I say watch every live stream. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Hey, kid.
A true Giga Chad.
Don't think you can just cough up.
Okay, training room. Combat skills. Izuna drop. There you go. XYXXXY. Or XXXY in the air. This has to be the first one.
If you want to test it out, now's
Hell
your
yeah.
chance.
3 X's and a Y in the air. A lot of screen tearing? Yeah, that's my capture card, don't worry. I had VRR, but it destroys... VRR, in my case, my capture card doesn't... It's not friendly with it. That's why the screen tearing. X, Y, X, 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 Y. There you go. I had to do it. Whee! Okay. X, Y, X, 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 Y. Legendary. Enhanced version of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance engine is probably that. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's swap to the 4060. The 8 GB crying thing. Haven't tested it on the Steam Deck OLED yet. Not yet, but it's verified, so we should be good.
See you around.
Let me open these crates. Okay, some heals. Perfect. Let me go back to 1080 so I don't kill the 4060 at the beginning. Okay, 1080. Frame rate limit, let's ignore it. And let's put it on the highest settings. There we go. I'm pretty sure on the 4060 with the highest settings, we can actually do native without dropping frames. But it still looks good even with upscaling, so no big deal. The thing is when effects show up, that's when it drops the most. Anyway, let's swap around. 8 GB disaster. The 3060 that I use has 12 gigs. The 8 GB version is not only slower, it's also performing worse. But hey. Alright. 12 GB is still better than 8. Yep. Yeah, Nvidia makes two versions. It should have been called the 3050 something. I mean, the 3050 should have been the 8 GB 3060. But Nvidia loves doing that and confusing consumers. How many gigabytes? Oh. Okay, I already read that. I've been here for an hour already. Dang it. But the game is very fun so far. You want to upgrade your 3050 laptop to a 5060 Ti next year? Yeah, I mean, if it's the laptop, a new laptop variant there, sure. Sounds like a good investment. Right now, the best value would be a 4060 laptop because the 5060 is still 8 GB on the laptop versions. Freaking Nvidia. Okay, we're back. And 4060. So let's see how the 8 GB fares. Yeah, exactly, Alex. The Jiggle Physics Giga Chad. Oh yeah, I probably have this. Do you want to go for a desktop? Won't ever do gaming laptops anymore? Good for you. Yeah, good idea. Way too expensive? I mean, yeah, and upgradability? Good luck. Yeah. It's a shame, but what can you do? You're waiting for your 5070 Super with 16 GB of VRAM? Hell yeah. 5070 is 12 gigs. Yeah. Is that too bad? I mean, the 5060 Ti is slower in general. But Nvidia puts 12 GB on the 5070 to basically nerf the GPU, so it dies faster. Okay. Object quality, we increase it. This cannot be changed while playing the game. And we're basically on the highest settings with DLAA for anti-aliasing. Jesus, my brain glitched. So this is 1080p. DLAA. Let's see it. Oof, smooth as butter right now. But we're indoors. That doesn't count. And that wasn't me. That wasn't a glitch. Can I run in max settings on 3070 laptop 1080p? You probably can.
Giacomo, let's roll.
Yeah, you should be fine. You said 4070 laptop?
So the
3070
demons
laptop.
found you already.
Yeah, it should be okay.
Demon.
But let me see how it runs right now. In this case, I think DLSS. Yeah, here. Ooh, this part drops pretty hard.
Destruction caused by the shrine demon, protector of the dark dragon shrine.
But it's pretty detailed so far.
Let us know we're here.
Good art.
But we're still far enough from the shrine that the demon's influence shouldn't be too strong yet. Keep moving.
So yeah, on native 1080p, I mean, if you lower a couple things, because the options menu honestly is pretty lacking, very few options, I would lower the volumetric fog to low, shadows to medium, reflections and ambient occlusion a bit, if you want to play native. But again, it's not a huge performance improvement lowering those settings, and when effects show up, it's going to drop pretty hard, so... I mean, yeah, there's a few sections that it drops like this. So I would just max it out and use DLSS on this one, because actually DLSS looks pretty damn good here. Not sure how they did it. And again, if you want also native, make sure in the main menu you put object quality on medium. But again, I don't think it's worth the sacrifice. FSR doesn't look right. Seems to be FSR2, apparently. DLSS. The only problem here is that DLSS doesn't tell you what's the actual preset. It seems to be quality or balanced. But it looks pretty damn good. Okay, there you go. But again, I wish we had better settings and more settings as well. And TAA looks too freaking blocky. Okay, it didn't save my life elixirs. And these are screen space reflections that I'm seeing on the ground. Let me get back. Open those chests. Would you ever try FSR4? Yeah, I will, but not on a live stream. I usually like to do it by myself. Because here I'm just showing you how the game runs and looks. Because most people are not going to mod their games. Most people. These two atoms. But as a FSR4, I tried it personally. It looks pretty damn good. On the Steam Deck I tried it a couple times just to check it out. Even on performance, it looks pretty damn good. I don't know what AMD did, but I hope they keep doing it. Good. Okay, they're kicking my ass. But that's okay. It's the point of the game. Oops. Cooler Master bronze 750 watt is enough for 9800X 3D and 5070 Ti. Yeah, you should be okay. Just make sure it's not a... Because just saying that it's bronze doesn't say a lot, but the capacity when it comes to wattage should suffice, yeah. I mean, usually Nvidia recommends 750 watts for the 5070 for the total consumption of the PC, but it's actually lower than that. I saw people with 600 watt power supplies running 5070s, 5070 Ti's. So you can do it. Shouldn't be a problem, but I mean, if you already bought it, you shouldn't have any problems with 750. As long as it's not that trash tier power supply, you should be good to go. New weapon skill. Okay. Oh. Back, forward, Y. Okay, like a fighting game. Gotcha. Well, the previous Ninja Gaidens did have this as well. Okay, so on 1080p, I will keep it on the highest with DLSS on, which seems to be quality or balanced. Let's try 1440p, which is what I'm interested in, because here where we have only 8 gigs of VRAM. It feels so weird to say that. So DLSS enabled and everything on high. Oh, super sharp in comparison. And the frame times, pretty damn solid frame times. Oh, finally, I can buy more heals. Oh, okay. Grappling hook. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Pleasure doing business with ya. All right.
Yeah, if you have a 4060 laptop, it's super close to the desktop version. That's true. Yeah, that's the best feature of those 40 series laptops.
Great distances.
Raven gear.
Yes, the cutting-edge technology developed through the Raven clan's private
Good
research.
stuff.
Ninjas are, of course,
Oh man, it drops here.
but these tools are
Yeah, there are moments when you look into the distance that it drops like this.
dynamic energy to allow for an even greater range of...
Wow, cool. How about you tell me about it some other time?
Yeah, I think it's the reflections actually.
Indeed. I'm with Sayori, and we are en route to the shrine now. We'll remain concealed as we trail Yakumo. But should the need arise, I'll guard her with my life.
Okay, so that's a new skill. Yeah, on this one, now I forgot to lower the volumetric fog a little. But there are specific sections when it likes to drop pretty hard. And the reflections. I think it's the reflections, actually. But I'm not going to turn them off, it destroys the visual. But again, what I really like about this, frame times.
I think.
Hey, master. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. No frame gen? I don't see it.
Now's your too good for
There doesn't seem to be. There is dynamic rest, but I couldn't make it work yet.
New stuff. All right.
Okay.
Looks like you made it close to the gate.
Reduced to atoms.
DDO troops too.
Pick them off.
Yeah, and the yellow paint thing now is tape and cables. Not sure if you can turn those off, but maybe you can in higher difficulties. Yeah, the frame times are freaking solid. Great job on the frame times. Reduced to slices. I monitored CPU and GPU temp with and without laptop cooler while... did you notice no difference? Yeah, there is a few videos about that I saw that are fantastic, and I mean, you're better off just putting a book behind it, so there's some space below it. But that's about it. But this case is what I'm talking about, some examples of things that you can clearly notice this is not using ray tracing. I mean, this stuff right here doesn't have... Yeah, the lighting here is just pretty flat. There's reflections, screen space. Not everywhere. I think it's because I lowered it, but it looks pretty flat in many areas. I mean, there is ambient occlusion, there is shadows, but these areas are very, very flat. So, I mean, the performance makes sense. No, I'm not using the stairs. Fine. I'll use the ladder. Yeah, laptop coolers are a scam, basically. You just need some space so air can go in.
I'll clear them out.
Generally. Oh, they saw me. Berserk state. Press L and R to enter berserk state. Okay. Let's go berserk. Bloodbath kill. Okay, more mechanics. I like that. Ooh. Oops. Yeah, just don't use your laptop on your bed and you're good to go. Definitely. I mean, that's the main thing that I noticed. Just don't put something covering the ventilation ports and you're good to go. But if you put a book behind it, just to have it a little bit higher from the surface you put it on, you should be good to go. Boom. Dead. It's gonna drop. Freak you. Okay, this is working great so far. The only thing, again, if you're doing 4K, like I'm going to show you now, you're going to be VRAM limited, so I recommend you lower that texture quality. Because here it's basically crawling for help. And also the shadows a bit. But here actually I think the 3060 does a better job at 4K, funnily enough. Let's see. FSR performance. If you want to put DLSS at 50% resolution, just make sure to use the NVIDIA app to force it. Let's go back to the main menu. Yeah, here the VRAM, the lack of VRAM really shows. But let's lower the effects to medium, so it's fair for the 4060. Okay, yeah, it's quality. Gotcha. The INI file allows you to change it. It's weird that they didn't put that in the game itself. I mean, it feels like something pretty simple. Okay, so medium to low, including textures, at 4K with performance upscaling. $4K mid-low FSR performance, but again, if you want to do it with DLSS, either force it with the NVIDIA app or use FSR. That in this game doesn't look good, in my opinion. But again, at 4K, it's basically 30 FPS. But the VRAM doesn't help. Berserk. Yeah, no. At 4K, it runs worse than the 3060 sometimes. That's hilarious. Yeah, the VRAM limitation is no joke. Let's put those textures even lower. Yeah, the 1650 is at the end, don't worry. I got you. Oof. Yeah, no. Yeah, but I'm at 4K here. I'm at 4K. Yeah, we don't have enough VRAM for that. So my advice for this one, play either at 1080p with DLAA or at 1440p with DLSS, and you're good on high. Yeah, it's 4K, don't worry. I got you. The thing is, again, we cannot choose presets for DLSS inside the game, which is freaking stupid. Let's go for the 5070 now. Let's see the improvement, if any. There should be. But the game uses a lot of VRAM, even at 1080p. Okay, we put everything back to high. We disable DLSS, we enable DLAA, and we should be good. But we're definitely VRAM limited at 4K on the 4060. But again, most people are not going to put 4K on this card. Are they using... They're using the Bayonetta 3 engine? Oh, awesome. Yeah, the frame times are great. GG on that one. Here comes the new one. With a death connector. Only no space. I'll make it fit. There it goes. Give me a few seconds to connect the death connector. The worst connector in history. Okay, it's in. There it goes. Are you a Gigabyte fanboy or is it cheaper in your country? It's basically one of the cheapest option in my country. Either that or overpriced Asus boards. So yeah, I don't have a lot of options. It is what it is. Don't try this at home. So no, not a fanboy. If I could buy other brands for the same price, I would do it in a heartbeat. All right. Here, since I changed the architecture, basically, I'm going to reinstall the drivers right away to avoid issues. This is the first time I stream with this card. So let's at least do that. So it'll take some time. You're a Gigabyte fanboy? Oops! Rusty Pepperoni's EVGA. Man, I miss EVGA so much. Solid graphics cards. Yeah, their RMA policies are BS, but I don't have a choice. So when you don't have a choice, well, they tell you, well, SOL. Yeah, laptop coolers are useless. Yeah. Like a friend of mine used to say, I agree. In the meantime, yep, new GPU. So we can actually see contrasting, because I had a 5060 before I got it very recently. And when I put it after the 4060, it was barely an improvement, barely. You have multi-frame gen on DLSS titles, but that's about it. It didn't make sense to have it. You can just look at the 4060 and it's basically a match, a one-to-one match. Oops, that's not my password. There it goes. No, and it's not a tequila jug, it's a water jug. I wish I could drink like that. It would knock myself out. It's not a 5-liter jug, though. Yes, 6.25. It says agua. That means water. I think. You're using Translate? Don't worry, man. It's okay. Let's install the NVIDIA app as well. But I'm excited to see how this card goes. It will be completely fine, but still. We have good references. The only thing that bothers me about this card is that it only has 12 gigs. Considering what this card can do, it should have at least 16. Entende portugués? Yes, I do. Yeah, Portuguese, I understand it is similar to Spanish in some ways. I cannot speak it, but I can read it sometime. Agua. Come on. Come on, NVIDIA, install that freaking driver. Yep. Probably the 5070 Super will have 16 gigs, but again, this card will drop in price, so it will be, I think it will be a good idea. Okay, you just speak Portuguese. Okay, you're probably Brazilian. I gotcha. I'm in Uruguay, so we are basically neighbors. And yeah, I understand some of it, especially reading it. When it's spoken to me, I get a little bit confused. You heard NVIDIA is using 3 gigabyte VRAM modules on the 50 Super series? Okay. Interesting. NVIDIA. I wish AMD... I mean, AMD is doing good stuff right now. I think they could do better, but we need competition. Otherwise, NVIDIA does stuff like this. Man, I miss the GTX 1000 series times, where you jump from a 960 to a 1060. It was a massive difference. Good times. I'm old. Okay. Drivers are up and running. Let me disable VRR because my capture card is not friendly with VRR. I don't want you guys to see stuttering on the screen. And we're going, oops, 4K 120. Yeah, 1650 comes right after this one, so don't worry. I think we're going to be fine. I'm just going to put textures on low on the 1650 right away. Because this game is super VRAM intensive. Oops, overlays. NVIDIA make GPU and AMD make VRAM. We'll have the perfect GPU. Yeah, but that doesn't translate in profit. DLAA. Por ahora todo bien. Se siente como un Ninja Gaiden. Un poco más easy, pero sí, está muy bien. Okay, the 1650 has locked settings. Okay, I gotcha. That sucks. They're nerfing our GPU. Oh, okay. So it only allows you to play at 720 on a 4GB card. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I wish they gave us more freedom on that, but I understand where they're coming from. They need to put a setting like in GTA 5, ignore all limits. I mean, kind of realistic, but at the same time, yeah. Okay. I'm not used to having a fast GPU on the channel, so bear with me. It's weird to put everything on high right away. Okay. High everything, 1080p, DLAA. Let's see how much better over the 40 and 5060 it is. Here I was dropping below 60 on the 4060 and 5060. I was borderline 60 with these settings. I did use a 4090 before, but still. I mean, yeah, look at... Okay. 1080p is a cakewalk. Yeah, no. The improvement is huge. Holy hell. What a freaking contrast that is. I fucking hate NVIDIA. Imagine if this was the 5060. That's how it should be. Yeah, the 5060 run like the 4060. It didn't make sense to use them both side by side. It was basically the same GPU at this point. I tried many games, it was running basically the same. Didn't make sense to test them together, in my opinion. So this shows you at least contrast between those GPUs. Because otherwise it's too redundant. Again, it was basically the same. No, it's not my main GPU. I have a 4090 on my main PC. But I barely play games on it because I'm working. So I play games with you guys here. That's basically what I'm doing, which sucks. But for my work, the 4090 is plenty fast. Especially when I'm doing backlighting on Unity. When I process it, I don't make it. Yeah, at least now, guys, I can have more context on how the game runs. Instead of just showing you two cards that run almost the same, I'd rather show contrast. I don't know, what do you guys think? Am I making sense and I'm just coping over here? Yeah, Jensen Huang needed more money. He needed a better reflecting jacket. Make sense? Okay. Thanks for the feedback then. But considering what I told you before when showing you DLSS versus DLAA, since they look pretty similar, maybe you want 120. So DLAA is nice, but what happens if we use DLSS on, which is essentially quality? Then again, here, if they look similar, why not take the extra frames? So let's check both. You enable DLSS 4. I need to do it, yeah. I wonder, I don't remember, does the 120 FPS mode run at which resolution on PS5 and Series X? And I'm going to do DLSS 4 right after this. I think it's necessary, especially if we have a faster card like this. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, I mean, it's 1080p is a cakewalk, and with upscaling, even more of a cakewalk. Ooh, that was a bad hit. But let me change to DLSS 4. I think it will help a lot. This is a very fast-paced game. No, don't optimize my games. No, I don't want an overlay. No, I don't want to log in. Okay, driver graphics. Here you go. Oh, it's a... I forgot about that. It's a freaking game from the Xbox app. Let me check very quick. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, if I cannot change that, it's going to be a pain because those files are locked. Oh, maybe I can just do it. I can do it from a global. Yeah, let's just force the latest one. And you can override the resolution, the input resolution. So if the game doesn't allow you, like here, you can just force it in. But yeah, it doesn't show up here. That freaking sucks. They coded their own engine caps. Yeah. I even. Yes, sir. I even. But don't worry, it's just for the clicks. The content is good. And it worked because you clicked on it, so thanks for the click. I appreciate that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, making your own engine is a big deal. I agree. It's important. And it's hard AF. Okay, is it compiling shaders? Yeah, we need the game to natively have it. Would be nice. Especially FSR. FSR 2 doesn't look good. It destroys all detail. Yeah, global should work. I don't know why the game, though, is just stuck here. But that's the bad thing about those Xbox app games. Let's try that again. I was supposed to see black screen? Yeah, but for a few seconds. No, not 1440p yet, but I'm getting to it. Don't worry. Let me see if it... Okay, now it did load. Bugs. Bugs never change. Yeah, I just enabled DLSS 4 globally. Because the game doesn't seem to be using that one. So now I'm on 1080p with DLSS 4, which seems to be quality. And if you use DLAA, the visual difference is pretty small. Yeah, I can see the performance impact on DLSS 4, but it does look better. Yeah, in motion it does look better. Let's go berserk. And again, without upscaling, you can basically expect 100 FPS. Some drops to 90, but no big deal. So 1080p, as usual, for this card at least, a cakewalk. DDR4 versus DDR5, are we talking about system RAM? Nowadays, I wouldn't say it's super important. Because, well, DDR5 in especially the newer AMD CPUs is a necessity. You don't have a DDR4 as an option. But some Intel CPUs from the 12th, I think it's the 13th and 14th gen, you have DDR4 and DDR5 boards. I mean, haven't seen much of a difference, honestly, when it comes to performance on those. It mostly depends on the latency of the memory and also the frequency, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's just depending on the necessity on your motherboard. Have you found a shower? Have you found a shower checkpoint for Yamato in the game yet? I haven't. But I think it's part of the fun that he doesn't take a bath. Literally me. Never bathes. Produce 2 atoms. Something simple that any mother can simply do. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the difficulty either. Maybe QA related, but shouldn't be difficult. So 1080p, a cakewalk on native resolution, just expected on native 1080p, 90 to 100. At 1440p, let's see DLAA. At 1440p on the highest. And now DLAA is also DLSS 4, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's probably good for 1440p gaming, yeah. I'm pretty sure. On UE5 stuff though, it requires upscaling, but UE5 runs like garbage on basically everything. Most of the time. There are exceptions, of course. But those are few and far between. Yeah, if you're doing native 1440p, it's okay. It's 60 to 70, it seems. Ooh, kicked my ass over there. The main issue with the 5070 is that it's 12 gigs of VRAM, and that can get filled up very quickly. It's going to be a problem later on. Does this game not have FSR 3? No, it's FSR 2 apparently. And I wasn't sure, but then when I looked at FSR in the game, it looked horrible. Master. No de nuevo, no. No de nuevo. Hold wine or blood essence. Oh, okay. This is a basic movement in Gaiden 2. I need it.
Wanna give it a shot?
Do you need it? Yeah, I need it. Yeah, the 3090 Ti uses so much power. It's ridiculous. It's insane that though. Hold up. What is blood essence? Just like that. There we go. Oh, dang it. Oh. Yeah, no, let's get out of that. Weird. I thought they were going to put blood essence around me. The nouveau removal.
See you around.
See you around. Okay. Yeah, but 1440p native, you can't go wrong with it so far. Yeah. The hardest it dropped was basically to 60. And VRAM we are up there in the 9 GB range.
Certainly made quite the climb.
How far to the next pylon?
Should be just up ahead.
3090 Ti is better in performance but more power hungry, and it has way more VRAM. It has 24 gigs. There we go. Okay. But this runs great. I mean, you can see the improvement over the 60 card. I mean, I know it's a 4060 that I tried, but the 5060 5 to 10% faster in my experience. This is a night and day difference. And you can still override FSR2 into 4. Awesome. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, you can use OptiScaler as well, right? But for 1440p, completely fine. At least here without upscaling. But since with upscaling, honestly, it still looked very similar to DLAA on the comparison that I did at the beginning, even on 1080p. Let's now enable DLSS and see how high we can push it. Are you going to play Outer Worlds 2? I forgot it was coming out. I don't think so, because actually when it comes to my job,
Not alone.
that it was going to slow down. Well, actually it's going to ramp up like crazy, because apparently I'm going to be full-time instead of a freelancer, and I'm learning a new SDK to build the VR stuff. I was in the process of doing that, so I don't know if I'm going to be... Whoa, he's kicking my ass here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to cover everything. I wanted to cover this one because I'm a huge fan of Ninja Gaiden, especially recently. I played Ninja Gaiden 2 and all that, but I really got into it when I played Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I was like, man, I want to know everything about this franchise. So I wanted to play this one. I was super excited. Especially considering it wasn't UE5. Wasn't. And Platinum Games was involved, and I love everything that they make. I wish they made a new Astral Chain game or something, but I was getting obsessed over it. Oof, bad hit. Oops. Oh, he has 2 health bars. I was going to say, oh, this is super easy, what the hell?
Still don't stand a chance.
Oof. Ah, wrong button. DLSS on, apparently it's DLSS quality. Apparently. You can force the other DLSS techniques, the other DLSS qualities by using the NVIDIA app. But yeah, they just put on and off. That's it. They didn't bother to explain. But seems to be either balanced or quality. Oh, locking on, okay. That's better. Okay, that works. But that doesn't. Oh, okay, that breaks it. Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. Too late. What's your favorite game? Ooh, I have a lot of those. But I'll say the ones that I always mention: Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory, Dark Souls 1. That's a big one. Well, I have a new favorite game of all time: Expedition 33. I cannot stop playing that thing. If you haven't played it, please do.
Still don't stand a chance.
Bad time to hit that button. Oh, Jesus. The music! Ah, come on. Dang it! I still suck! And that's not the okay, at least I dodged on time. Okay. I almost missed that. Badass. This is awesome. I'm in love.
It's done.
Great. I just finished opening their defenses.
Sí, Shaq, estoy haciendo development en Unity en realidad virtual.
Keep it up.
Hey, Hamza. How's it going? Yeah, the soundtrack feels Metal Gear Rising, but it makes sense, right? It's the developers are from there. Come on, Ninja. No! I suck! I know. Okay, so 1440p native if you want 60 to 70. And if you want closer to the hundreds, 1440p with DLSS.
Alright, let's head to the last pile.
Although you can lower the DLSS resolution from the Nvidia app. You can override it. Let's do 4K. Hopefully it doesn't fill the VRAM. So let's do native first to see what we're going up against. Probably, yeah, it's using all the VRAM. With DLAA, native 4K, yeah, that VRAM hit 12 gigs and it was like, nope. I think I'll restart the game just to make sure. Okay, it stabilized a bit. Yeah, I'm going to restart the game just in case, but we hit that VRAM limit right away. Does it support multi-frame gen? As far as I know, there's no option for that. Gracias, Jack. Sí, lo estoy haciendo hace tiempo, pero no full time, y ahora parece que va a ser full time. Veremos. Well done on the stage, boss. Thanks. I appreciate it. Okay, Tab 10. Hope you get better soon. Take care. Yeah, here we go. Let's see, native 4K with DLAA. Let's see how, yeah, look at that. In the menu, we're already at 11 gigabytes. The 570 is starting to sweat bullets at 4K. Let's make it cry.
All right, let's head to the last pile.
Okay, it was 30 FPS, now it's 50 at native 4K on the highest settings. This looks insanely sharp. I love this. Okay.
Giacomo, what happened?
Ooh, yeah. Sonic!
Another route to the target.
I think I can help.
Okay, I can
Now,
dodge
get somewhere safe.
while on the wire. That's cool. I was waiting for this. Can I go faster? Wrong button. Ah, there we go.
Further demonic phenomena, I presume.
But at native 4K... Oh, wire. I thought I had to jump like in Sonic, but it's the wire. So he's using all the VRAM. Oops. Wrong button. DLSS? Yeah, it looks amazing. I used it on Resident Evil 5. Oh, there's another wire. My bad. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's definitely Metal Gear Rising vibes there.
Looks like the DDO's
Reduce
caught
to
up with you.
atoms.
An ambush, more likely. Stay on your guard, Yakumo.
Okay, yeah, at 4K when attacking the enemies here it drops into the 30s.
He's the Raven Clan's top
Maybe we can help
of
it
course.
by lowering some of that texture, because that VRAM is insanely high. So, by the way, this is native 4K. Just a heads up. Let's do medium textures. Let's see if that helps.
Be fine.
We're still up there on the VRAM usage though. Okay, yeah, that did help. Okay, GG. That's important. 4K high. But as you can see at 4K, it does really push the VRAM significantly. To be expected. It's a much higher resolution. Medium textures. But it looks damn good. I mean, it's expected. It's 4K, but still.
New product?
I really like how sharp it looks.
Hope that helps. See you later, Yakumo.
And well, the what's the name of this? Well, this game doesn't have blurry TAA like other games. This one has pixelated TAA, which is weird. Yeah, with DLSS we can probably hit those 60s. Let's try that. Give me a sec. We probably need to manually adjust the DLSS on the Nvidia app though, because it seems to be only quality DLSS. And at 4K, that's 1440p internally, which is nice, but okay. But for 4K, we need a little bit more of that. Although it's hitting pretty good frame rates now. DLSS on. Okay, here indoors is pretty smooth. Let's see once we get into heavy combat.
Security drone.
But it's 40-ish at 4K on the highest, without upscaling. After using the wire, cling to a wall or drum, press X or Y to unleash a quick downward attack. Okay. Roger that. Okay, that's OP. Oh, those are not drones. Those are guys flying. They have wings. I thought they were drones. Oh, that one's a drone. Never mind. Oops. Oh yeah, it's running very, very well. Just lower that texture quality at 4K and you're golden. But see, if it had 16 gigs, it wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't even need to think about that. Anybody else? Alright. Izuna drop. Yeah, I'm having too much fun. Definitely. Guys, no politics. This channel is not about politics, please. I just do one warning. At least you tried. Free soda with every hot dog. What? Okay. Built from an ancient dragon. Okay, pretty solid. Just make sure to force DLSS 4 from the Nvidia app, and you should be golden. What did I do? Oh, that's how I dodge. Okay.
Stay on that rail.
So yeah, just make sure to do that, especially at 4K, you'll need it. If you want high frame rates, you can do 1080p DLSS or 1440p DLSS, but native resolution works well. And I would only tweak the textures if you're playing at 4K, otherwise max it out. But it runs pretty damn well. The engine, this is a custom engine, which is nice to see, but at the same time, those VRAM issues, it's too much VRAM. I mean, the game doesn't look bad, but it's not the best looking game. I don't think it justifies the VRAM amount it's using. Even a 1080p can hit 10 gigs. So I think that's pretty outrageous. It's the Platinum Games engine. Anyway, let's do the 1650 to finish this stream. I've been here for 2 hours, so that means that I really enjoyed the game because I'm still playing it, and I'm speaking less. So, yeah, I mean, on UE5 it's more justified because it's ray tracing, but still. Let's do 1650. Okay, 1650, 4 gigs. The game recommends as a minimum 6 gigs. Where's the nano power bank? I made an exception today because of, well, a great game and honoring the creator of Ninja Gaiden that passed away last week. But it's right there, hidden in plain sight. Yeah, I'll clean the case later, don't worry. Never happening. Hell yeah, Sandor. Practicing my whole life for that. But I didn't notice until it started happening. Yep, 40 to 60 on Steam Deck, good. That's how it should be. Alright. Welcome back. 1650, again, below the minimum requirements. Oops. So we're using 1080p, low. Well, I don't think it will allow us 1080p, so we'll see. From what you guys told me, it locks you at 720. That's a shame if it's true. But yeah, Steam Decks should do it. I mean, considering it's in-house engine plus verified, when I'm pretty sus about the verification, it's on UE5 stuff. Other than that, it's usually a good sign. Yeah, I agree, Junior. There are very few of those in my country. That's one of the few brands that actually reaches Uruguay that has good quality adapters. Okay, it launched right away. That's a good sign. Graphics settings are limited because your environment does not meet the system requirement. Okay, somebody's probably going to make a bypass. But good to know that at least the game tells you about it. Yeah, it doesn't allow you to go past 720. When do I think that the Steam Deck 2 is going to release? Probably 2028 is my guess, but I don't work there, so I have no idea. 720p. They force us to 720. Apparently, they also force us to prioritize performance, so this is 360p, actually. Very low preset. Dynamic resolution. Okay, so the game doesn't allow us to do anything with the settings. The only thing that they kept on high was object quality, which is funny. I thought this had an impact. FSR, performance, lowest settings forced by the game. So yeah, the game forces these settings. These are probably the Steam Deck settings. That's why the game tells us this, but what can you do? Let's see. Where is the 1080 Ti? Oh man, what a legendary GPU. Nvidia's biggest mistake, the 1080 Ti. Damn! Yeah, I mean, I can easily see this running at native 720 on this card. They did us dirty with the settings that they chose, I think. Oh man, I wish they allowed us to just turn it off. Turn off those 4 settings, at least a few of them. But at least the game runs at over 60 FPS. I think we could do this same thing but on 1080. But at least the game runs well. So I'm happy about that, at least. It's freaking smooth, yeah. Yeah, even when effects show up, it's still over 60. Oh well, what can you do? 360p at the end of the day. That's a shame. I wish I could go a little bit higher, at least on the resolution. But again, a mod is probably going to figure that out. But on heavy combat is when, yeah, probably they overcompensated a bit. On combat it can drop into the 60s. This part doesn't seem that demanding right now. Ah, so close. Yeah, modders will save us. Surely you could force a different resolution in the INI file? That's a good point. But the game does work on this card. And it's butter smooth so far. Yeah, even when effects there are close to the camera, it can still do its thing. It's still above 60 there. Yeah. Oof.
You're mine.
Yeah, reduced to atoms. Never to be seen again. Oh yeah, I have the Berserk state. Berserk. Oops. But hey, if you want to play it on a 1650, no problem. It's just not a great resolution, but it works. And it's below the minimum requirement, so that's always a good thing. Most games will tell you to freak off. Oh.
I updated.
So that's good to see.
Thank you.
Are your eyes hurting? No, not really, but the resolution again is 360p. Just let me show you what that means. This is what he looks like. It's a bunch of squares. But I can read in the game, and I can basically still be in combat. You can still identify targets. It's not like something that is unreadable, at least. No, not possible to disable upscaling either. Yeah, I cannot do anything. Hold up. Let's try, now that we're at the end of the stream, let's try tweaking an INI file. It's probably an app data. Ninja Gaiden to black, Ninja Gaiden 4. Okay, this is not an INI file, so... Ooh, no, seems to be encrypted. Oops. Maybe on documents. No Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, because Ninja Gaiden 2 Black did have, well, it was UB5, so it makes sense. This one, I don't know where the config file could be. Yeah, forcing FSR on performance sucks, I agree. But I think native, I'm not sure native, but maybe quality makes a bit more sense. Maybe on program data. No, this is all on NVIDIA. Oh, maybe on save data. Saved games. I'm not finding it. What other place could it be? Maybe in roaming? That'll be weird, but I've seen weirder things. Nope. Yeah. Yeah, this is on the Microsoft Store. If you have PC Gamepass, you can get it, or you can buy it on Steam, which you can update more stuff there. Let me see. Xbox games, game save. Oh. Textures, shaders, logo. Config. Okay, maybe it's one of these. The thing is, there's multiple of them. Yeah, I know. Seems to be encrypted. Settings. There you go. Dedicated memory, full size Gigabyte -1. I don't know what this means. So, okay, it's here. Nothing yet on PC Gaming Wiki. Gotcha. Thanks for the heads up. Let's put this on 1 and see what happens. So we put it as read only, and maybe we can bypass it. I'm just trying stuff. I don't know if this works. Okay, let's see. Maybe we need another number, but let's give it a shot. Xbox encryption? No, I don't think this is the Xbox encryption thing, because some games do have encrypted encrypted config files, and honestly, that's completely sucks when that happens. Yeah, I wonder what it uses to detect the card. Yeah, no, I'm still stuck here. Well, yeah, this doesn't seem to matter. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything obvious that I could change. No. Nope. Oh well. So for now, if you have a 4GB card, you're forced to play 720 with performance upscaling. That means 360p. It's pretty smooth, but it's a pixelated mess. So if I find a way around it, I'll make sure to update you guys. Let me hold up. Ninja Gaiden 4 bypass 4GB? No. PC Gaming Wiki. Config file, compat data, PFX. Oh, no, this is for Linux. Never mind. No, I'm not finding anything yet. So yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I tried with the 5070. Let me know if it was helpful in any way, because I think, again, if I'm doing a 4060 and then a 5060, it's like very redundant, didn't help much. But here at least I have 3060, 4060, that's a small jump. Then 5070, that's like the next tier. And then the 1650 just to see the older card. So let me know what you think in the chat and the comments. I'll read it, obviously. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to wipe this computer completely because I haven't installed Windows here from scratch since 1 or 2 years. So it needs a cleanup. And I do have a video of my OBS settings. It's pretty old, so just look up OBS and the name of my channel and you should find it. But as long as you use the NVIDIA encoder, you should be good to go. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If I find a workaround for those 4GB of VRAM limitation things, I'll let you know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. That was cringe.